my partner Venki and I were among the earliest investors in Facebook, which is now known as Meta. That's an interesting story about how we invested in the company, because not too many people were even aware of Facebook at the time, because it was a very small company that was only on a few college campuses at the time. They were not like, they were in just a few. I think it was Stanford, Harvard, and a few college campuses. That's all at the time, right? They had not expanded beyond that. Venki and I were founders of a company called Cosmix at the time. This is the second company that we founded. So I think it was around 2007, 2008. And we wanted to recruit Stanford students to join our company. So there was some kind of job fair or something, and we were there. And then there was a panel that they put together at that event, on which my partner Venki was on that panel representing our company, and Mark Zuckerberg was there representing Facebook. Nobody had heard of Facebook back then, so it was some company out there. And it was held in this auditorium at Stanford. And what we observed was that the auditorium got very full. And you were like, we didn't expect so many people to come to this panel. They were all students who had come to this panel. And then we observed that all the students were asking questions to Mark, right? And we thought, hey, this company must be doing something interesting if all the Stanford students are interested in it. Then we did our research and figured out it's called Facebook, and all the Stanford students are on Facebook and so on. So that, hey, this is a very cool company. We should keep an eye on this company, right? They might become a big company. And then, as it so happened, Mark Zuckerberg was connected to us just a couple of months later through a mutual, and I think it was Sean Parker or somebody. As it turned out, Mark Zuckerberg was evaluating who to raise his round of funding from, and he had two potential investors to lead the round. One was Accel, the venture capital firm, and the other was the Washington Post company.
Oh, nice.
Right? So you see how the world comes full circle, right? So, and he wanted to know, how it is to have Accel as an investor, how it is to have Washington Post as an investor. Of course, you can find many companies that have raised money from Accel, but there's been only one company in history who has ever raised from money from the Washington Post. That's N equal 1. That's Junglee, right? So he had to talk to us. Right, so we gave him all the pros and cons and all that, and we also said, hey, we really like what you're doing at Facebook. It would be great if you'd let us invest in your company whenever you raise your next round of funding. And Mark was gracious enough. He ended up raising the round from Accel, but he was gracious enough to let us invest as part of that round. So that's how we ended up investing in Facebook.